Well, hello and welcome back to Common Sense Homestead. Today we are going to grid out and set up our raised beds. So before we get started, I just kind of wanted to show you the process that I went through here. I had a bunch of pallets I had picked up. A friend of the family's had asked me to come by and grab these pallets to get them off. They were building a new house. So we went by, we picked them up. What I did was I sorted them into pallets of roughly the same size. And I just cut them in half, measured them out, cut them right down the middle. And I'll show you how that works in a minute, but it takes 2 pallets to make 1 raised bed. And the raised beds are roughly 4.5 by 4 is the size. So we're going to do that, and then we have a bunch of wood stumps and things that came from the tree service when they gave us this mulch. That was part of the deal. We had to take those too. So I'm going to throw that, and then some of the mulch in the bottom of them, and then fill the top portion with compost. That way the bottom of it is breaking down. It seems like it would hold water a little bit easier. And of course it'd be much cheaper to do it that way. So in addition to the pallets, I took 2x4s. I measured them out 12 inches. Mainly because of the price of lumber right now. Normally I would like to frame the whole top out. Maybe that's something I'll do when the price goes down, but I just drilled 4 holes, 2 up here, 2 down this way, and when I piece them together, this will be what holds the top in. And then on the inside of the boxes, I bought some landscape fabric. It's just the little black breathable fabric you see that goes down the bottom of flower beds and such. And once we get them constructed, I'll take the staple gun and I'll staple that on the inside to help hold in compost and the wood chips. So again, we're going to put the wood chips in with pieces, with the larger pieces, and then on top of that we'll get compost. Once we get that done, then I can start spreading the rest of this mulch out, and we can clean up the yard quite a bit. I know the wife is super excited to get all that done. So all right, so I've gotten through a couple of these now, and kind of got on a bit of a roll, so I thought I'd stop for just a second and kind of show you how I do it. And I just take these screws here, just stick them into the pre-drilled holes. They won't go in far, of course, but just far enough to hold them so you don't have to carry them. I did find also, once you get the first corner done, the rest of it just goes by super quick. So I put them on here the way that I'm going to drill them. So on the cap end, you can see how the 2 in the middle, and then I cap the ends of them. You put the 2 long ways there, and then you just run down the long side. So we'll just stick them there, and then I always like to start up here in this little top corner, opposite the first one, and just get the first 2 in. Just stick them in like so, and we will hold those in. You can see those right in, and then just kind of go right through that wood. This little impact drill does, so that's fine. Then we'll go down here, square that up like so. Get it there we want it. Oh, well, that didn't work out well, did it? There we go. And down. All right. And we'll put these 2. Oh, damn, it goes right into it. Okay, square these ends. All right. It'll kind of tighten itself down as you go with this. Tuck it in a bit. Be careful not to get all the way through it. All right. Alrighty, so we got our 6 raised beds built and put in. I just kind of wanted to stop for a minute, just kind of show where they're at. Looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I got them all lined out. Like I said, not all of the pallets were exactly the same size, so I had to sort of frame them, just pick an edge and frame them that way. So I just picked kind of the inside edge of each one, put them 4 feet apart so I have room to move in between there and get my wheelbarrow and such through. So now the next stage is going to be to secure the bottoms. I've just got a little baling twine. I just pull it through on the corners and tighten it down. And then we will staple in the landscape fabric and begin to fill them. All right, so as you can see at this point, we have lined all of our boxes with our landscape fabric. On the inside, this is just going to prevent everything from falling through the slats. And up here, I had thrown a few things in just so you can kind of see. I have taken some of these cut pieces of these trees that weren't ground up, kind of threw them in the bottom to eat up space. And then I'm going to shovel from over here, fill them up halfway, and then at that point, we'll probably put a layer of straw over the top of that, and then follow that up with the compost. But once that happens, I'll come back and show you. I just wanted to make sure you all had a chance to see this at this point. Okay, so we've got this box filled it up to right about so, with the wood chips from behind it. You know, we showed earlier the logs that were in there as well. And now I'm just doing, I don't know, about an inch of straw or so in there, and that's going to help with the moisture retention. Any weeds or anything that were on the top of that, I don't think there were any in there, but there may be. They've been out here for about 18 months or so, so there's a chance there are weed seeds and stuff in there. So hopefully this straw is going to really help keep the weeds down and hold in the moisture. So next comes the compost. This is our first bed. We filled it again from the bottom up. We put in the last layer of compost, and soon we'll be planting it. All right, so this is the finished product. You can see we ended up leaving about 48 inches between the beds. That's about the room that I need to get my bigger wheelbarrow through. So as time goes on, I need to add compost to the tops, and that I can bring the bigger wheelbarrow so it doesn't take me forever. Because it's middle of May, our options were limited as far as what we could plant. Next year I would like to do beets and carrots because we can control the soil. It's too late in our zone to start those. So what we did was we just cleaned out our greenhouse. We have some peppers, tomatoes, mostly a lot of odds and ends tomatoes and peppers is most of what it is. We have a few melons. I'm not sure how the melons are going to do in here. We got cantaloupes up at the top. That'll be interesting. We've never grown melons before. Leslie loves cantaloupe, so maybe we'll get some of those this year. We have some butternut squash, a lot of flowers. This bed over here I did in bush beans. I also planted on the back side of a few of these, I planted some of the golden wax beans, which are my favorites. My chickens have eaten my golden wax beans out of the bed by the old garden. They've stripped the leaves, so I'm not so convinced that the plants are going to come back, but you know, we'd be surprised. This far in my experience, I've learned plants are much more resilient than I originally thought they were. Okay. So we do appreciate everyone watching this episode of Common Sense Homestead. If you have not, please remember to like and subscribe and share You know, subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps us out as far as the YouTube algorithm is concerned. It allows us to grow as a channel, that sort of thing. So we appreciate your time. Hope you folks have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Common Sense Homestead.